The elevator doors slid shut with a whisper, sealing me in with the man who held my future in his hands. My heart pounded like a drum in a thunderstorm as I stared at the floor numbers climbing toward the penthouse suite, knowing that tonight would either make or break my career and maybe my soul. But when Alexander Black, my ruthless CEO boss, turned to me with that piercing gaze, I realized this was no ordinary power play. It was the spark that would ignite a fire I never saw coming. I had clawed my way up from a small-town kid in rural Ohio to a mid-level marketing exec at Black Tech Innovations in bustling Manhattan. At 28, I was ambitious, driven by the ghosts of a family that never understood my sexuality, pushing me to prove I could succeed on my own terms. But the corporate ladder in New York was slick with ambition and compromise. And when the promotion to senior director dangled just out of reach, I knew I had to play the game harder than ever. Alexander was a legend in the tech world, tall, broad-shouldered, with sharp features and eyes like stormy oceans. At 35, he ran the company with an iron fist. His personal life a mystery wrapped in rumors. Whispers in the break room hinted at his preferences, but no one dared confirm if he was gay. To me, he was untouchable, a force that commanded respect and fear in equal measure. Yet, in meetings, I'd catch him watching me, his gaze lingering a second too long, sending shivers down my spine. The promotion announcement was imminent, and I was neck and neck with Sarah, a straight-shooting colleague who'd been gunning for it just as hard. Then came the late-night email. Meet me at the rooftop bar after hours. We need to discuss your future. My stomach twisted. I knew what this could mean. Corporate folklore was full of stories about Alexander's private negotiations. But I needed this job. My student loans loomed like shadows, and my apartment in Brooklyn was a threadbare reminder of how far I'd come and how far I could fall. The bar was empty save for us, the city skyline twinkling below like a sea of stars. Alexander ordered whiskey neat, his voice smooth as silk. Ethan, you're talented, but talent alone doesn't cut it here. I need loyalty, commitment. His words hung heavy, laced with implication. I swallowed hard, my mind racing. Was this harassment, coercion, or just the ugly truth of climbing the ranks in a cutthroat world? As a gay man who'd hidden in the closet for years to avoid judgment, I felt exposed, vulnerable. But I nodded, because refusing felt like surrender. We ended up in his luxurious suite at the adjacent hotel, the air thick with tension. The king-sized bed loomed like a battlefield. Alexander's hands were confident, his touch igniting sparks I hadn't expected. As clothes fell away, I told myself this was transactional, means to an end. But his kisses were hungry, almost desperate. And for a fleeting moment, I wondered if there was more beneath his armored exterior. In the dim light, as our bodies intertwined, he paused, his breath hot against my ear. Ethan, he whispered, his voice cracking with emotion I'd never heard from him. This isn't what you think. I've been in love with you for months. The words hit me like a thunderbolt. Freezing time. Love. From the man who'd built an empire on control. My mind reeled. Was this a ploy, or the truth spilling out in the heat of the moment? I pulled back, searching his eyes. What? I stammered, my heart a whirlwind. Alexander sat up, vulnerability etching lines on his face. I couldn't say it before. The board, the investors, they'd crucify me if they knew. I'm gay, Ethan, but I've hidden it to protect everything I've built. Seeing you every day, fighting your own battles. It broke something in me. I used this promotion as an excuse to get close. But it's real. Please, believe me. Doubt crashed over me like waves. Was this manipulation to keep me quiet? Or the confession of a man as trapped as I was? We talked through the night, the city lights fading into dawn. He shared stories of his youth in California, the rejection from his conservative family, the facade he'd maintained to rise to the top. It mirrored my own pain, the high school taunts in Ohio, the pretend dates to fit in, the loneliness that gnawed at my core. By morning, exhaustion mingled with a fragile hope. If this is true, I said, then no more games. We do this right. Or not at all. Alexander nodded, his hand trembling as he took mine. But reality intruded. The promotion was still on the line, and whispers in the office could destroy us both. I left the suite with a mix of elation and terror, wondering if I'd just opened Pandora's box. Back at work, the tension was palpable. Sarah cornered me in the hallway, her eyes sharp. What did you do to seal the deal? I saw you leave with him. Her words stung, laced with accusation. I brushed it off, but paranoia set in. Was Alexander playing me? Or was this the start of something genuine? Days blurred into a secret dance. Stolen glances in boardrooms. Late-night texts that evolved from professional to personal. Missed you today? He'd write, and my heart would soar. But the promotion loomed, and with it, the risk of exposure. One evening, in his office, he pulled me into an embrace. I want to announce you as senior director tomorrow. But more than that, I want us to be real. His kiss was tender, filled with promise. Yet, doubt lingered. I confided in my best friend, Mia, over coffee in a cozy Greenwich Village cafe. What if it's all a lie? I whispered. She squeezed my hand. Follow your heart, Ethan. You've hidden long enough. Her words echoed as I prepared for the announcement. The boardroom was packed, tension thick as fog. Alexander stood at the podium, his voice steady. After careful consideration, the new senior director is Ethan Hayes. Applause erupted, but Sarah's glare burned holes in me. As the meeting adjourned, she approached. I know what happened, and I'm not letting it slide. Panic surged. That night, Alexander and I met in Central Park, away from prying eyes. She's threatening to go to HR, I said, fear choking me. He held me close. Let her. I'm done hiding. If it costs me everything, so be it. You're worth it. The scandal broke like a storm. Anonymous emails circulated, accusing Alexander of favoritism and impropriety. The media pounced, headlines screamed about the tech mogul's secret life. Protests from conservative investors demanded his resignation. My world crumbled. Colleagues whispered. Friends distanced themselves. I faced my own backlash, family calls from Ohio, laced with disappointment. We always knew, my father said coldly, hanging up. In the eye of the hurricane, Alexander and I clung to each other. Hiding in his upstate cabin, we confronted the wreckage. I never meant for this, he murmured, tears in his eyes. But loving you has set me free. We made love under the stars, raw and honest, stripping away the layers of pretense. As weeks passed, support trickled in. LGBT advocacy groups rallied, praising Alexander's courage. Employees shared stories of their own struggles, fostering a wave of inclusivity at Black Tech. The board, facing public pressure, backed down. Alexander retained his position, implementing new policies for equality. For me, the promotion stood, but it paled beside the real victory, self-acceptance. We went public, hand in hand at a Pride event in San Francisco, the crowd cheering our story. From coercion to connection, Alexander whispered, echoing his fateful words. In the end, what began as a desperate act blossomed into profound love, teaching Yuzin the world that authenticity triumphs over fear. Our journey wasn't just romance. It was a beacon for those still in shadows, proving that whispering truths can change everything. But the peace was short-lived. Just as we settled into our new normal, a ghost from Alexander's past emerged. Victor Hale, his ex from college, now a rival tech CEO, surfaced with damning evidence, old emails suggesting Alexander had used similar tactics before. He's a predator, Victor claimed in a viral interview, twisting our story into tabloid fodder. My trust wavered. Is it true? I demanded, confronting Alexander in our shared Manhattan loft. His face paled. It was different. I was young, scared. But with you, it's real. Doubt festered, turning sweet moments bitter. We argued fiercely, words like daggers. How can I believe you now? I shouted, storming out into the rainy night. Wandering the streets, I reflected on my growth from a closeted kid to a man embracing love. Mia found me at our old cafe, her wisdom a lifeline. Love isn't perfect, Ethan. It's about forgiveness. Her words pierced the fog. Meanwhile, Alexander fought back, suing Victor for defamation. Investigations revealed Victor's motives, jealousy over a lost deal. As truth emerged, public opinion shifted. In a press conference, Alexander bared his soul. I've made mistakes, but Ethan is my redemption. Reunited, we rebuilt stronger. Therapy sessions uncovered wounds, fostering deeper intimacy. Our bed became a sanctuary, where whispers turned to vows. Marry me, he said one dawn, ring in hand. Tears flowed as I said yes. The wedding in the Hamptons was intimate, surrounded by allies. Vows exchanged under a rainbow arch symbolized our triumph. But life tested us, in a health scare for Alexander. A tumor benign but frightening. Through chemo shadows, our bond deepened, proving love's resilience. Years later, we adopted twins, creating the family I dreamed of. Black Tech thrived under inclusive leadership, inspiring change. Our story, once scandal, became legend, a testament to vulnerability's power. In quiet moments, I'd trace his scars, whispering, "You changed everything." And he'd smile, pulling me close, our hearts beating as one. The legacy endured. We founded a foundation for LGBT youth, sharing our tale at conferences. From whisper to roar, we'd say, empowering others. As gray hairs appeared, our love remained fierce, a reminder that even in darkness, light finds a way. What started in coercion ended in eternal connection, a human story of redemption and hope.